Hey ladies, so I'm a little late today with y'all getting this video. Like I said before, you will normally get your video every Sunday morning. I had a delay because I had a job interview in my week. Normally I'll go ahead and make the video prior to Sunday. So that's just the day that I've chosen to put it out, Sunday morning. That way you'll have all day to listen to the video. Like I said before, I'm going to try to keep the videos between like a 30-minute, 40-minute type segment. If I go longer, then I'll let you guys know in the text messages prior to me sending out the link. But you all will get your own individual link every Sunday sent to your phone. What I'm going to start doing is probably for each individual, if I feel it's something more I need to touch on, I might send you your own private video link. Um, if I feel like I need to go in depth a little bit more concerning the situation. So I might send you another link. I think I'm gonna do that for everybody, probably once a month. Just send out a specific video just for you. For an example, based on the information that you send me, I probably, out of about 10 or 11 of you guys, I gotta sit down and actually count how many I have now. But I think it's roughly 10. I have to, out of the 10, I probably only got about 4 back of the things that I asked for, which was your spiritual goal, emotional goal, mental goal, your financial goal, and your natural goal. So I only got about 4 of those back. So like I said before, in order for this to work, in order for this to be effective in your life, you have to do the work. What I'm saying will not be effective if you don't put it out there for yourself. So I'm asking you, if you haven't gotten that information to me, please text it to me so I can see where you are. So when I do a video for you once a month, I know exactly what goals we're working toward. Another thing is the items that I asked you for. That's what we're going to go through today. Today is kind of like another general video of preparing you to get to the place to where you want to get to in your life. Therefore, organization and prioritizing is kind of what we're going to do today. I have found that when you are chaotic, your life is chaotic. When you are a procrastinator or you have different weaknesses and you're chaotic, it makes your weaknesses even worse. So the goal is to find ways to better ourselves by working on our weaknesses. So one of those things that I have found is being organized. I guess we can start by going through the items of what I asked you guys to get. And I'm trying to see if that's what I want to go at. Well, let's start with this. I want you to begin to get into the mindset of working on you. And though we say, for the new year, I'm working on myself, new year, new me, We say all those things, but when it comes to actually doing the work that we need to better ourselves, we don't do it. We don't do anything. We just expect for ourselves to be a better self. No, not this year. Tell yourself daily that you're going to make a difference for you, on you this year. Work on you. You have to. The Lord dealt with me last year about the word intentional. It's how I made every move a strategic move. I can't be a busybody. I can't be going over here. I can't keep going over there. I can't be doing all these things. And then when I really sit back and think about it, I ain't really doing nothing. Whatever you do in this season, in this year, make sure it's intentional. Make sure it's a purpose behind everything that you're doing. It has to. Listen, if somebody say you want to go somewhere, what's the purpose of that? Is it going to feed my natural being, my spiritual being, my emotional, mental being? Is it going to feed my pocket? If not, what is my purpose of doing it? We have to get. I listen to Pastor Kim, Real Talk Kim. Some of you guys may listen to her. I love her. And she talked about stemming away from negativity and trying to become more of a positive person. And in order for you to do that, you have to do away with these things. For an example, she talked about talking about people. You know, we sit down and we talk about, and I'm big on this, like, we talk, I do it myself, we talk about things, though I'm not talking about them in a bad way, I'm just talking about them. But when you can start to do those type of things, what purpose is it? Is it giving you purpose? Are you making yourself feel better from talking about somebody else's situation? Or, you know, what is the purpose? So we have to make sure we're doing things intentionally, that we're not just doing things just to let time waste, or to make ourselves feel better by, you know, dibbling dabbling in little things that doesn't make us any good, make us any better, serves us any purpose. Everything that we do must be intentional. Everything that you do must be intentional. Everything. Everything that you do. You have to also learn from your behaviors. Focus on your weaknesses. Focus on your weaknesses that you have, that you want to change about yourselves. Learn your behavior. Learn what makes you upset. Learn what makes you happy. Learn what makes you cringe. Learn what makes you those types of things. And if it gives you a bad feeling, or if it gives you negativity, you have to find a way to loose yourself from it. Because it's one thing to declare a year to be something, but it's another thing to do the work to make that year be something. And in order for you to do the work, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with what you're dealing with. Some of you are dealing with people that's not good for you, that you know is not good for you. And I can say this because I done been there. That you know is not good for you. It could be a friend, you know, and you're trying to make it work, or you're trying to do this because you're a loving person, or because you're in passing. But sometimes, you know, once you make that sit down and it doesn't work with that passing, in that sit down, that sometimes you have to let it go. And sometimes we have a hard time with letting things go. Then that's another thing. You have to be willing to let go of what's not anymore, so you can get what's coming. Because here's the thing, you will never get what's due to you if you keep holding on what's been gone from you. Like, you must be able to release things. And I used to have such a problem with releasing certain things, or moving from certain people or certain relationships, because I felt like if I let them leave, I would never get that back, or I would never get back the feeling that I was making myself feel when they were around, because it wasn't really real, you know. But we don't have to settle in those feelings, because when we live for Christ, He will add on what we need, and He will fill our heart's desires. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's because that's what I used to think. Oh my God, you know, this is happening, and I'm never gonna come back from this. Or like, it used to be so bad, and even if I didn't think it, like, it just felt so bad to go through some things. It felt horrible. I remember when I was pregnant with my first child, and I was 18, and it just felt bad. It felt bad for being judged by people in the church. It felt bad to, you know, have a baby's father who you really was in the ins and outs with. And then when the child came, you guys trying to work it out, and me and him trying to work it out, and then things not working out, and then just, you know, being a single mother. It's not the end of the world. Like, I'm here to tell you, God will give you what you need. He will sustain you if you allow yourself to grow, even in your pain, and let go of things that you know is not for you. Because we will never see the blessing of the next big thing if we keep holding on to the past. So I don't know who that was for, but grasp that, and really sit down and think about in your life what you're holding on to. Even unforgiveness, like forgiving people, listen, it does not free that person of whatever, but it frees yourself. It frees you for thinking that they have any power or control over you for what they did to you. And even if they did or didn't apologize, you still forgive them, and you mean it. You mean it, and you tell them, hey, hi, bye, and you keep it moving, because nobody has that much power or control over you unless you give it to them. And I had to learn that. That's why I'm big on reconciliation. I'm big on sisterhood. I'm big because we have allowed, one, ourselves, two, the enemy to make us think that because we all are different, we can't be together. No, we have to learn to accept each other's difference. And I know this is going catacorn or what I was saying, but we have to learn to accept each other's differences, and sometimes that's a problem when it comes to people. We want them to be who we conjured them up to be, but that's not who they are. We have to accept people for who they are, and then you have to decide if that's who you want to deal with. If it's time for you to let that person go, you need to let it go. If it's time for you to just add boundaries to that relationship and that friendship, place them back down to an associate instead of a best friend or a friend or what. That you have to do that in your life. You have to prioritize your life, set up boundaries in your life so you can be healthy. So when something does come your way, guess what? You ain't doing all this. You still standing still because for one, you know who your God is, and for two, you know who you are. I know I'm gonna come out of this, so ain't even no sense in stress. I'm still gonna enjoy my life. I'm still gonna smile. I'm still gonna be happy because what is the purpose of me being depressed when I know this is not the end of the world? What is the purpose of me being sad when I know God is able and will turn it around? Especially even if I do the work, if I put in the work. Faith without works is dead. If I don't do it, nothing's gonna change. So I don't have to stay in that state of depression. Yeah, I acknowledge my feelings. Yes, it made me sad. Yes, it hurt me. That is perfectly fine. You acknowledge your feelings, and you go cry if you need to. You go, but you don't let it keep you down in a place to where you can't get back up. Because guess what? Most of y'all have kids that y'all have to live for, and besides that, you need to live for yourself. You deserve to live for yourself. So if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with suicide, I want you to know that you deserve to live for yourself. That you deserve that. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to go after your dreams. You deserve all of that. So don't allow situational issues to cause you to feel like you can't make it. Because guess what? Those situations is not always going to be there. All it takes is a push, an extra push. And yes, sometimes our backs is against the wall. I've been there crying on the floor, like to myself, because I feel like all my help is gone. But guess what? I'm here today. So apparently all my back wasn't against the wall. Apparently God did see me crying on that floor. Apparently I did see something in myself to get up the next day and go. So I want you to remember that whenever you do feel like everything is against you, listen, it's not. It's not. The next thing is do the work. We talked about that. Do something different. Sometimes we allow our same routine to keep us in a place of stagnation. Do something different. It's always about learning, growing, learning something new. You have to challenge yourself every day to not be in that same place. I shouldn't be in the same place I was yesterday. You know, what did I do today that's different from yesterday that I can say that I'm not the same today? You know, and it doesn't have to be no whole spiritual awakening. It could be you learning a new word, you challenging yourself to grow in a different way by just learning something new, okay? So I challenge you to do that. Get involved. This is a good one. Your environment. Watch your environment this year. Make sure everywhere you go is intentionally, because the enemy is tricky and he will make us think one thing when it's something totally different. And sometimes God would test us to see what we're gonna do, but make sure every place that you step your foot in is intentional. We don't have time to be getting caught up in all types of things, doing things that we know is not of God. You know, it's time out for all those things. And I'm not saying that you got to be this holier than thou person. That's not true. Listen, trust me, I ain't saying that. But what I am saying is that when you have a relationship with Christ, you are held at a certain standard. It don't matter about no title. It matters about you as an individual in your relationship with Christ. Therefore, watch where you go at. You can't go everywhere. You know, when I first got saved, I was going to the club a little bit when I was at Armstrong campus. So I graduated in '08. I was 18. So about all of my 18th year, 19th year. Well, I got pregnant at the end of 18. Yeah, it happened to me real quick. As soon as I literally, like I set foot on campus, and then bam, I'm pregnant. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of time to have my fun, but I had my share. So I was going to the club and things like that. And then so when I did get saved, and my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, my friends wanted me to go bar hopping, and I went. I did go bar hopping with them, but I felt out of place, and it wasn't because something is wrong with bar hopping. Nothing is wrong with that. I'm not judging, nor would I ever judge, anybody that does that. But God deals with you in your own way. You should have your own conviction about things when, and I'm dealing with the spiritual aspect, but you should have your own conviction of things you shouldn't do. Like if you stuck foot in a place, or you do something with somebody, or you do something with something, and it's not right, you will feel that you're off. That's your conviction telling you you should not be doing this. And you have to make sure you listen to it, and it will grow as you grow, and it'll keep it. You'll be like, well, darn, I don't even have a desire to do that no more. It's because you're listening to your conviction. And God, we have our own relationship with God. So I don't judge anybody. You have your own convictions. Somebody might say, for an example, my Christmas tree is still up. Somebody might say, I shouldn't have a Christmas tree because Christmas is a pagan holiday and all this type of stuff, like my husband said. And some people have, even in my ministry before, some people have said that, why do we put Christmas trees up? I've had members who wouldn't even let the kids wear costumes at a costume party that I threw one year. And, just as different things like that, because that's their belief. I don't judge anybody on what they believe, because we all have our own convictions. But what I do try to let everybody know is listen to your conviction, because it will grow you into who God has called you to be. Everybody be like, your heart is so, this and that. It's because God deals with me with my heart. Like my heart conviction is like awful. It's an awful thing for me, because as soon as I do something, it's like bam, I'm slapped in the face without even being touched. So you have to listen to your conviction, so God can grow you into that person that He wants you to be. And that's how you can look at somebody who was a drug addict and now they're a pastor. That's how you can look at somebody who used to be a prostitute and now she's a healthy mother of three with a whole business making six figures. It's because they listened to the conviction of it, and they were able to change. So keep that in mind when you're going through things. The next thing I want to talk about is when you wake up in the morning. I've started this thing this year with affirmations on my mirror and listening to my music in the morning. So, for an example, I don't know if you ever saw this movie, Deliver Us from Eva, and it was about Gabrielle Union was the main character and her sisters, and when they wake up in the morning, like I watch that movie all the time. When they wake up in the morning and the song be on, it be like, ain't nobody stopping. Like I remember that song because every morning when they get up, they put that song on, and it gets them in a mood to dancing, to feeling good, to whatever. And that brought that back to my memory when I was trying to, put out guidelines for myself on how I wanted my year to go. And, not let the enemy get me in a depressed state, or me feeling down about, like, I'm not waking up on the wrong side of the bed no more. Like, them days, for me, are over. I want to wake up and tell God thank you every morning, regardless of if I got $0 or $1,000 in my account, regardless of if something happened with my child. I want to wake up with brand new mercies every day. Like I do. I don't want to be up one day, down the next day. On Tuesday I'm good, on Thursday I'm not. That's just not what I want anymore. So I have a playlist now, and it's this song, this self-love song that I listen to. That's my first choice. And then my second song is by Ariana Grande, Thank You Next, and it's talking about her exes. But the song is so powerful for me because it's saying like goodbye to your ex. So for me, it's like goodbye to all the ways that I used to be, and thank you, I'm on to my next. And in that song, she talks about dating men, but technically, and she was saying how she learned from them. Each one of them taught her something different, but the last person she dated was herself, and she fell in love with herself. And I love that song. I love the lyrics of that song. And then I listened to Beyonce, I Was Here. Because it's one of the songs that inspires me to make sure that what I do is effective, and that I leave a difference in somebody else. That's all I want out of this world, is to make a difference. So those are my 3 songs. The first one is really short, so I listened to it twice. Then I listened to Ari, then I listened to Beyonce. And then I might listen to my girl. Oh, I can't think of her name. Last name Curtis, I think. Which is the gospel song. Because for me, I can't. If I listen to gospel first, I'm gonna be slaying on the floor. So I had to arrange it to where, and then I don't even listen to worship songs like slow songs. I listen to a praise song, um, like it's a real fast upbeat song I listen to after I listen to Beyonce song. And those are my four choices that keeps me running every single morning. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I got these little coffee things that I take. Just looking at them making me feel like a boss. So I grab one every morning, and that right there, I'm good. My morning is already set. So I encourage you to do that. Or I look on my mirror and I see what I wrote, and it says you are beautiful, or you are this, or you are that, and it works. It works. I haven't started the mirror one yet. I've done it before, but I haven't done it yet. More so, I'm on my music thing every morning, and that has been working for me well. So I encourage you to do it. And it takes for you to use a habit takes 21 days. So I encourage you to do it for at least 21 days. Get your little playlist together. Add your gospel music in there. I do mine last, so it could be the last thing in my head. And listen to other music first, but yeah, do get yourself in a place to where when you're already set up. Another thing is, like I've said before, going to sleep on time, waking up on time. Those are two other big things. Dealing with self-care. Like, you can't function properly if you're not sleeping. Same thing with the water. You can't function properly if you're not hydrated. Ask me, I know. I done passed out a couple of times and been dehydrated, especially while I was pregnant. So I'm telling you this because I know it to be true. Okay? So those are some things to think about as well. So this is what I did. I've come up with a way that we're gonna do these. I'm gonna do these YouTube segments once a week for the next couple of months. So next week and the week after that, we'll still be in January. So therefore, it's going to be general conversation just like this, just to get you started on your growth process, right? February through December, I'm going to have a topic each month of what I'm going to talk about or give to you that I feel is very vital for us. And I've already come up with 11 more topics and I'm going to deal with those topics once a week for that entire month. For an example, the first one is going to be February, the balance of the heart. My heart, love. And we're going to talk about loving ourselves. We're going to talk about loving other people. We're going to talk about the powerfulness of love, and we're going to talk about the effects of love. So we're going to talk about everything that I know dealing with love. We're going to talk about relationships with men or female, whatever relationships you're in, relationships with friends, relationship with coworkers. We're going to cover all of that in dealing with when we're talking about dealing with the heart. The next one for March will be the balance of fear. The next one will be, and I don't know which months I'm gonna do these in, they may change, but the balance of being hurt, the balance of the past, the balance of family and children, the balance of jobs and careers, the balance of my mind perspective, the balance of me, the balance of confidence, the balance of integrity. So all of these, I feel like after I came out of prayer, I feel like these are all main topics that we deal with. And this will be the goal of this is to, by the end of December, I come up with these things, I write down what we talk about, and I form it into a book. And I'm going to put it into a book for 52 weeks, like a journal almost. And I'm going to make that journal available for people to, so they can have their own journal at their own expense. So, like I said, I want to tell you guys thank you for even allowing me this opportunity to be your mentor, because not only you look at it as I'm helping you, but you guys are also helping me a lot. And I thank you for the ones who text me and was like, "With my video," I thank you because it keeps me grounded, it keeps me on task. So I appreciate you. So that's where we're going to be going. That's what it will look like. And that's what it'll be about. Quickly, I want to talk about the items that I asked you guys to get. So this is a monthly planner from January to December of this year. This is a cute one I found that says make it happen. I grabbed it because when I look at it I get inspired. Make it happen. I gotta make it happen. I gotta do the work. And this one is just only a calendar with dates on it. So every month is just the calendar with dates. It's nothing else. So I use this. This is my personal one. I also have one for church that I use. Because I am a pastor, so like I have all my church information in here. Things that I'm not saying I have some more stuff. Okay, yeah. Things that I got plans already for the year from my church. I have another one. So this is what I want you guys to get. And you might not even have a lot of stuff to do or come up, but what I want you to start learning is being organized. So every Sunday morning, because Sunday mornings work for me, I sit down, I go through everything in my phone that was in there that I done said I'm coming to, or I'll go to, or I done signed up for, and I put it in one of these. Now, some of you guys have the other planner too that I asked you to get. You can use that one or this one, but it has, the other one has a date, but it also have the lines in it. So like Monday might have a box where you could put Monday information in. Tuesday have a box. If you have one of those, which those are great as well. I don't have one of those because I actually prefer these. But if you have one of those, I want you to do the same thing. Or every day before you go to sleep, grab your calendar, look in your calendar and say, okay, this is what I gotta do. Write down what you have to do. Don't, sometimes we overcloud our mind and making our mind remember all this stuff that we got to do. It's impossible. Some of us have careers, some of us have kids, some of us have husbands, wives, some of us have, you know, all kind of things that's going on that we're a part of. It's not your mind. You don't want to overload your mind to carrying all this information. That's why they sell these types of things. That's why they sell them. So we can use them. So use them. So pick you a day if you have these out the week, once a week, and fill these in. As soon as you know something happened, keep it in your pocketbook. If you know something going on, grab this out. Don't grab your phone out. Because sometimes those things, they can mess up. We depend so much on this. We depend too much on this. Right. We depend. Some of us need to really back up from our phones. That's a whole nother conversation. I might make that be a whole topic by itself. Sometimes this is what gets us in trouble. Sometimes this is what stagnates us. Sometimes this is what keeps us from having a better relationship with ourselves and having a better relationship with Christ and have a better relationship with other people. Because what I've noticed is even with texting, we got so familiar with texting, so we don't get to know people for who they are. We try to find out in the text. I can't hear your tone or know your personality from a text message. Those of you who are dating, don't let him text you all the time. Like, you guys have to talk on the phone or talk face to face. Like, because, and I say that because you need to look at body language. You need to look at what makes him mad, what makes her mad. You need to look at, you know, when he threw an eyebrow. You need to see those things, and you can't do that in a text message. And that's why I say it's also important that you know, see or even talk, because you can hear through the phone different things that a text message you can't. So don't allow this to be your guide this year. Let you do the work. Okay? Let you do the work. All right, so for spiritual, this is what I'm working on right here. It's I got this from Walmart. It was only $9.99. You know, for some reason we spend so much money on everything else, but we don't spend it on ourselves when it comes to things like this. Who can build what can build us? And I haven't started it yet, because my January is literally getting my life together. I have a lot of things coming up, so I have devoted my January just to put things in place so I can start fresh in February with doing these things that I have set up. So I've gotten all my tools. My January is the month to get my tools to be successful for the rest of the month. a 40-day devotional journal. And I don't want to do this just for 40 days, so I'm going to take my time and work my way through it. I'm pretty sure they got other books, but I just love this book. But it's different stories that people tell, and it gives you scripture references, and they tell you what happens at that scripture. But then it's also people who wrote this book that gives you their input about the scripture and what they may have went through. And then it gives you a point to where you can write how you feel and things like that. And like this one says, talk to God about your deepest desire. And I like it because it asks you questions that you may not write in your journal. So get one of these. Go out, take yourself out one day, go to Walmart, go look at different devotionals and journals and things like that. Treat yourself. Go get you a Starbucks if that's what you drink. Go get you Dunkin' Donut, whatever, and spend some time with yourself. Put your phone down, and really spend some time with yourself and find you a cute devotional that's really effective for you. This was another book that just was given to us when we went to an event yesterday. That's why it's a good thing to get involved. Go to these events, these women. If you need me to help you find a safe event, then let me know, because you can't go to everything. So use discernment. And but yeah, we went to one yesterday from my sister, Pastor Mahogany, and y'all know I'm big on self-care. Like, I'm gonna have my own book probably by next year. But I love this book. She's the LPC and an educator, and it has different things in it. Like today, I'm grateful for, and it's daily affirmations that you work on. Plan your work and work your plan. The plan, strategy, goals, and outcomes. Basically, everything that we're doing is kind of like in a written form, and it's really cute. It has just different things to reflect, release, recharge. So this is a cute book as well. Something like you can get that will challenge you to work on yourself, challenge yourself, and spend time with yourself. Sometimes we gotta put down that phone. And normally at the time that we spend scrolling on Facebook, we could do one of these, like, and get to know ourselves, put some feelings out on some paper. I also ask you just to get a plain journal so you can write, because what I want you to do at a minimum once a week is write in your journal. Once a week. Put it in your calendar or in your phone on Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. I'm being do not disturb. I'm writing in my journal. Write down how you feel. Write down what is going on. This journal, this is like I started writing this journal, I think, for my Sunday service messages that my husband was preaching. But it's really, really cute. I think I got that from Walmart. This one was given to me. It's really cute. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you your heart's desire. And then it's a scripture quote on each page. It's really cute. Or you could just go get a regular composition book. This was given to us yesterday as well. And that's all you do. I want you to pop by. So this is an assignment. Go right now. Pull out your calendar. Like, do it while I'm talking. And pull this out. And put on there what day every week. Every week I want you to put on there what day I'm going to be thing. So let's just say for me in February, I'm probably going to do mine I might do every Friday night or Saturday night from 10 to 11. Because those are my night days that I stay up about 11:30. So every Friday I'm going to just write on the top and small because it's not that much space. Journaling. And do it. Write your emotion. I'm not even gonna tell you what to write. You write whatever is on you. And you do it for the rest of the year. Challenge yourself to do something different, and I promise you, you're gonna feel better emotionally just by putting that stuff on paper. Getting it out of you. Whatever you want to talk about to whatever. Just get it. I remember how we used to have a diary, dear diary. We need to get back to that. Because we had so much in there that it took from us that we wasn't all bound up. You know how it was, like, out here with attitudes and all kind of craziness because we're bound, because we're stopped up. like the plug in the tub, you know. And then the last thing I told y'all to get was a box. And the reason why I want you to get the box is because I want, like I say, I only got 4 people who responded back to what I asked for. And I need to know what your financial goal is. And the reason why I want to know is because I want to hold you accountable every week, or every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, or every month, if that's what your goal is. But for your shoebox, I want you to go, if you do have envelopes, small envelopes, index card, whatever. I sent you guys most of you guys got the link for the online savings account. If you want to do cash, you're fine to do cash. But what I want you to do in your shoebox is whatever you put in your savings account, I want you to put in the shoebox, the number in the shoebox. So for an example, I'm doing and me and my husband's joint account, we're doing two separate savings. So the first one that I'm doing is the 246 savings, which is every week I put in $2 more than I did last week, but I started off with $2. So first week of January I put in 2, second week of January I put in 4, third week 6, next week 8, next week 10, 12, 14, all the way to the 52 weeks is up. That's the one that we're doing. So in my box, I'm going to have probably index cards, because those are the ones I've been using. And I put 2. And I put $2 and I put it in the box. Because here's the thing. When I go back in my box, I'm not going to take nothing out of my box. Let's just say I had something happen and I had to pull money out of my savings account, which is what I told y'all I don't want y'all to do, which is why we're doing a realistic goal. And I had to pull it out. I want to see what I should have had in my box versus what I have in my savings. And let me tell you what that does. So, you know, you might say that's stupid, because I know that either way I'm supposed to have 1,000 or whatever at the end if I tally it up, and I don't have that. So, but let me tell you what it does. When you see things that you could have had and you don't have those things, it does something to you. So when I look back in my box and I see that I could have had $2K by the end of the year, and I look at my savings and I only got $50, it's gonna do something to me. And that's the whole purpose of it. The purpose is for you to feel like it did something to you, so you won't do it again. So you now know the value of saving. So it's something that I want you guys to do. Get you whatever for your box. When you put that money in your savings account, put the piece of paper or envelope in your box and say whatever number that was that you put in your savings account. Okay? So that's all the materials that I have that I need you guys to get for us to get started by February. Like I said, I will send out the individual links if I feel like I really need to speak to someone one-on-one. I will do that, and I will let you know. Y'all can text me at any point. Call me if you need me. I'm here. And I think that's it. But what I really want you guys to focus on right now is really getting yourselves in the mindset to do the work. You know, we start, like I said before, this new year, new you type thing, you know, we do all that. We do all that. We got all that plans. We got that down pat. We've been doing that for years. But do something different for yourself this year. Pull something out of you that you didn't even know was there this year. Go after, I just was telling them in my self-care group that I had a job interview that I know I didn't qualify for, but I still felt like the little thing and sent it to them to get them a chance to, you know, call me back. And guess what? They called me back and pretty much offered me another position. We have to stop selling ourselves short, and some of you guys already heard this out the group, but I want you to go after everything that you thought you couldn't have. Turn it down, please. I want you to go down. That's Shabir, y'all, so nobody's in our business. That's just Shabir. I want you to go after everything that you think and thought you couldn't have. Listen, I don't care what kind of upbringing you had. I don't care what kind of parents you had. I don't care what kind of siblings you had. I don't care what hurt you in your past as a child loud. I don't care, and I'm not saying I don't care like I really got an attitude that I don't care. I'm not saying it in that format. What I'm saying is, no matter what happened to you then, that doesn't have to be who you are now. Okay? If you have to learn new behaviors, learn new behaviors. One thing that I'm big on is women acting like women. Women shouldn't be heard before they're seen. I'm really big on that because women hold a position that others will never be able to hold. That's why you have men who want to be women because we are the it. We are. We have to get to a place to where we know that. Some of you are dealing with, and I don't know, because trust me, I don't know, but some of you are dealing with men that don't even value you, okay? And let me tell you, they don't value you because you don't value you. So our goal here is to work on ourselves so we can have those add to us and not keep us in that same spot or make us even feel worse than who we think we are. I want to tell you all that you are all beautiful in your own way. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with not looking or being like the next person. But guess what? That's not your place. Your place is to be you, who God has called you to be. Guess what? You don't even want to be them. I'm here to tell you, you don't want to be them. Because what you think is not. It's not. It's not. So what we're doing here for the next 50, I think 2 or 3 weeks I went by, so the next 48 or 49 weeks is we're working on ourselves, for ourselves, okay? I need you guys to learn how to fall in love with yourself. That means cutting off that phone. That means stop talking to him. That means cut them friends off. That means spend time with yourself. That means do things that make you happy, not because other people want to make them happy. I need you to start saying no, I can't do this. No, I can't be everything else, and then I got 0% to give myself. No. Get comfortable with, because there's gonna be times when I say, look, this month go out by yourself. Get comfortable with that. Going to the movies by yourself. Going to eat by yourself. Going out of town by yourself. My best friend, he go out of town by himself all the time. And meet all kind of new people and experience all kind of new things. Because guess what? He's not boxed in by the mentality of his friend. You know, and though they may be our friends, and don't get me wrong, though they may be our friends, they're not us. You know, you're still your own individual person. And we can't get caught up, even in our kids, we can't get caught up on being just a mom, being just a leader, being just a pastor, being just a friend, being just a sister, being just whatever your title is. You can't get caught up in being just that, because guess what? You are whatever your name is. I am Jasmine first. Like, some of us need to say that. I am whoever first. And some of you guys need to tell yourself, like, I love who I am. You need to look in the mirror. I did a segment on looking in the mirror. It's my biggest, I teach my daughter this. My daughter will go in the mirror and kiss herself. Like, you have to fall in love with the skin that you're in. And I say the skin because that's the next thing that you see when you open your eyes, is first you see your skin. Fall in love with the skin you're in. Fall in love with your emotional being. Fall in love with your heart. And if you see areas within you that you don't like, write them down. Start working on them. And the way that you work on them is, for one, you give them to God. God, look, I got this problem. The first thing is to not deny what your issue is. To be honest with yourself. Look, I got a nasty attitude. And that used to be me. I got a nasty attitude. I'm a pastor now. I got to start dealing with these people that I really don't want to deal with. You know, I used to say all kind of nasty things out my mouth, you know. But I had to learn that I didn't want to be like that no more. Like, I didn't want to be cutthroat out my words and just nasty out my mouth and just like, what was the purpose of that? To cause ill will to other people, to hurt other people because I was hurt, or because I felt like, let me get this person first before they get me type thing? No. I didn't want to be like that no more. So I stopped going places that made me act like that. That was the first thing that I did. Well, I asked God to help me. The first thing I did was ask God to help me. Second thing I did is I stopped putting myself in those environments that make my behavior change. And I started putting myself in environments where I couldn't act that way, and being around people who I knew didn't act like that. And it's not because I was trying to be fake or phony by being somewhere. No, I was trying to change. And don't let people think because you're trying to grow and you're trying to change that's a problem. No, that's what we're supposed to. We're supposed to evolve. So don't let nobody think that because because they'll say, "Oh, she acting funny." Well, yeah, I am acting funny. You know why I'm acting funny? Because I got to do something different. So, in your perspective, because you're so carnal, you might think I'm acting funny. But for me, I'm changing my life so I can be a light because that's what God has called us to be, a light. We got to get out these ways of getting on Facebook and writing negative things and write. If it doesn't bring no type of prosperity, no type of laughter, no type of happiness, don't write it. And I'm telling you this as your mentor because I love each and every one of you. And I wish somebody would have told me this, especially to my leaders that's on here. We can't be a Debbie Downer. We have to be the light. So everything, if it's talking about somebody in the slightest way, if it's a subliminal message that you know is subliminal and you doing it because it is subliminal and you want that person to see, we got to cut all that out. So before we get started even with this, I want you to stop with the negativity on your social media. Start by that. Start by changing some ways that you know isn't good for you. Because here's the thing, what I'm doing for you guys is what you should be doing for the next person. You helping somebody else. You, if you're a leader, would have been somebody's mentor. Or, if that's your role in your career, being a mentor, if you feel safe with being a mentor, you can do these things. The purpose is to grow and to pass down, to give back in some way. So it's not the ones that are actually going to do the work is for a reason. All of you guys have a calling on your life, regardless if it's you sing, you whatever. And I'm not talking about those types of callings. Those are gifts. I'm saying you all have a calling on your life, which means God has called you to do something. He's called all of us to do something. So whatever that something is, you grow in it. The only way you can do it is by letting some of these dead negativity weights drop off of you that we picked up. Because I used to get with it too on Facebook. And sometimes, probably like before my daughter was born, I'll be a little petty Betty. But now if I do write it, and I do this just for me, if I have to get it out, because I just have to, I write it on Facebook, I post it, and as soon as I post it, I go in back to the privacy part, and I put it on only me, so only I can see it. And for some reason, I feel okay with it. It's a lot of, you really log in my Facebook, you go to my Facebook page, and go down, scroll down on my page, it's a lot of stuff you'll see that's not on Facebook that I only write to myself. But you know what also helps with that? That journaling. Whatever happens, you write it down, and you get it off of you. You don't have to turn to social media. Because here's the thing, social media is a bunch of people that don't know you. They don't know you. They're strangers. And even if they do know you, they only know the social media form of you. They don't know who you are. And you'd be surprised at who's watching your social media. And who looks up to you might see certain things and be like, if she talking like that, then I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to turn anybody into no over spiritual anything. This is just between good and wrong. Bad and good. So when you know better, you do better. So that's the information that I'm giving you because I've learned the betterness of it. I don't gotta go that route. If I really have to get something out, I go to my journal. Or I call my trusted friend. That's another thing. Watch your connections. And my bishop said this several times for us this year. Watch your connections. You ain't got to have 10, 20, 30, 50 friends. It's exhausting. As long as you got you a good 3. It's always 3 types of friends. My husband told me that I need one that I can look up to, I can call and get that empowerment from. One that's on my same level. We talk and we deal with the same things. And one that looks up to me that can call on me when she needs. 3 types of people that you need in your life. You need a balance. You also need to be pushed, and you also need to be pulled. A balance. So what I've called this journey is us getting to a well-balanced life, well-balanced lifestyle. On my phone, I cut my phone right here. I cut my phone off at 10:30, and it doesn't cut back on until 7 in the morning. I don't get no notifications, no nothing. If something emergency happens or whatever, they can call Nazir phone or whatever. But for my phone, for my sanity, and for me to get my peace and for me to live a well balanced life, I cut it off. Some of you need to cut your social media off because you can't do anything outside of your social media. That's the problem. You have to live a well balanced life. Too much of something is bad. Too less of something is bad. It has to be a balance. Okay. So that's what I have for you today. I want you guys to get these tools and things that I've asked for you to get so we can be effective together. I want you to do this. I want you to sign up for the savings account. If you didn't already, please sign up for the savings account. Link your bank account to it and leave it. Send me your goals, your spiritual goal, your natural goal, your mental goal, and your physical goal. I think that's what I said. Send me that. Watch these videos. While you're watching these videos, take time. Get your pen and your paper so you could jot down things. Let this be a part of your self-care time. After you finish with me, maybe you could start journaling on Sundays. Give it about an hour space. Give yourself an hour to just be dealing with yourself. Get your affirmations going. Find you some gospel songs, R&B songs, whatever it is. Whatever kind of music gets you in the mood of positivity. Now, I ain't talking about all, that ratchet music that's going to get you to wanting to fight. No. That's going to bring you to a peace state. Because here's the thing. That's the goal, is to gain peace this year. Because let me tell you, when you at peace, you don't stress nothing. It's a lot of stuff that I could be stressing right now. A lot of things that I can be stressing right now. But I'm at such a peace. This is the best year the beginning of the year, the best I've ever had, to be dead honest with y'all. And it's not because I'm still in school. It's not because I'm not working. It's not because of any of those things. My daughter just turned 1. So it's not like it's because she just was born. It's just that God has literally allowed the peace that surpasses all understanding to reside in me. That's what I want for y'all. But the only way that it happened is for me being honest with myself and for me allowing God to transform my mind. Transform my mind to get out of that negativity or that poverty way of thinking. Or thinking that's how, my cousins and them grew up, that's how I got to grow up. No. So I want you to take this in what I'm saying. Please, hear me. Let's do the work. I love y'all. Get whatever you need. Text me if you need me. Whatever. I'm here. Okay? I'm here. Let's do this. And if you know anybody, I probably could take on probably 2 more people that you think that could really benefit from this. Let them know. This, like I said, this year is free. If you want to bless me, Cash App, Perfect Expressions, whenever is led on your heart. Whatever, we cool with that. But it's free. It's just for you to do the work. Now next year it's probably gonna be free, but it's free because it's for me too. It's helping me and pushing me to the next place. Okay, so I love y'all. I thank y'all for entrusting me to be your mentor. Whatever you need from me, I'm here. Like I said, get those things. Let's start working. Okay. Our self checkup, because like I told y'all, I'm not obligating you guys to do nothing. But when I have things, I do want you there. That's the only thing that I'm requesting. So on the 29th, I believe I will send you the Zoom link of the self checkup that I'm doing. That's for whoever wants to join in, and it's a 30-minute Zoom where we just talk about our mental state. Okay, so that's going to be then. And if you guys have any kids, I'm doing on the last Saturday of this month, I'm doing like a paint with a twist thing with kids, but we're talking about mental health. So bring your kids. It's $25. It's going to be from 7 to 9 at my office in Garden City. Bring your kids, or if you know any kids. I probably only got one that paid so far, and I got, I think, 4 on the list. So I really want to have 10. So if you guys can help me out, if you got any babies, any kids, the age group is from 8 to 17. I want to split them up, but that's what I'm doing for right now. So yeah, so whoever you know, I'm just putting myself out there to be used, and I'm just looking for the people to be a part, you know? So that's it, because you guys know I can talk it up. But yeah, I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all soon.